This is just my favorite night of the year. Isn't this just awesome? This night really is about our BBB members. It's about the salespeople right up here. You perform regardless of whatever is happening outside of your control every month. We have people that have battled adversity. It's incredible that no matter what happens outside of business, or even things that you think would impact business, you all still perform regardless. This company doesn't exist without this group right here, the leaders of it, the stem minders, and it's just a really fun night to be a part of.
Mario sold 147 cars for Offield last year, but more important than what he does as far as sales is just who he is as a human being, who he is for his team. I don't know a better guy who just wants to do the right thing, take care of customers.
Curt has been the #1 Volkswagen sales rep in the state for 4 years in a row. Curt's an absolutely wonderful human. His attitude is absolutely infectious. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see what 2023 has in store.
Tonight I'm going to honor Kaylon Williams. He's always there to work. He's a prime example that hard work trumps talent, and if he can't outsmart you, he's going to outwork you. Everett Brown sold 199 cars this year. It's going to be a conversation after this how I did not get him 200 plus cars. I'm always trying to figure out how he does it, and last year I said I'd figure out how he does it to talk about it this year, and I still have not figured it out.
First up is Lisa Appel. She is a witty individual, just always has a smile on her face. She's a huge asset to our team. Lisa's had a lot of adversity and some things happen personally this year that I couldn't be more proud of her for finding a way to get here this year. Ernest Bolden Jr. He's one of those foundation pieces in the definition of a leader. A couple things Ernest accomplished this year. He joined Jess's prodigy team with a couple other individuals in the view, and he also is part of emerging leaders. Last but not least, Herrig. He is by far the craziest work ethic I've ever seen. Rick really redefined or defined the definition of customer experience. Every Saturday before Rick leaves for work, he waits till the last person leaves. And he printed out laminated QR codes that he puts on the windshield of every single vehicle on the lot. That he created a site for to have customers come shop on Sundays, which is the busiest day of the week, to provide information for vehicles to buy from them. It's first on their Monday to clean them up, so no one realizes, well, until now. Every customer that buys a vehicle from him spins this cool little fancy wheel that he writes gifts and prizes out of his own pocket. Also, every customer that purchases a vehicle from him receives a cake that says, "Thank you for your purchase." I started counting the amount of reviews that Rick got out of the 248 cars he sold this year. He had over 100 reviews on Google this year. And it goes to show his work ethic and how much his customers love him. Jake is a culture guy. Everybody loves him, especially his customers. He works super hard. He leads by example. He never loses sight of how important it is to have fun. And I know for sure that I'm not enjoying nearly as much as they work here. Dave celebrated his 5th year with McGrath at the end of November. He's had 5 opportunities to be here. He's been here every single year. Dave and his family endured some really tough things, really an unthinkable tragedy in 2022. So for you to be sitting up here, man, you were the embodiment of find a way. And I'm really proud of you. Tyler Offield, top dog at Vieth. Tyler is exactly what you want in a salesperson. He's hardworking, he's creative, he's self-motivated, he never gives up on his deal. That's exactly the kind of spirit that you need to get what you want out of this business and in this life. It's exactly what's going to take you really, really far, and whatever you choose to do, you've got an incredibly bright future with McGrath, and I cannot wait to see what you accomplish.
Bryce Cardis started with us in March. He had to hit BBB 6 out of 9 months, and that was before he even knew what the hell he was doing, right? And he did exactly that. He hit BBB 6 months out of the year. He hit it his very first month in the business, which is incredible, and didn't stop there. He lives the core value of have fun. He's always happy, he's laughing, he's joking, his customers have fun. When you're around him, you feel better, period. Brady Bernauer. Brady has been with us for 4 years. This is his very, very first time at BBB. And a customer review that had come in for him, I can honestly say he is the best salesperson I have ever met. And the funny thing about that is he was not a car salesman. He was a partner at a task. He took care of me with honesty, courtesy, and integrity. And he is the exact reason why I will be back. Suby. This is Gary Suby's 14th year hitting BBB. There's nobody else that's more proud to work for McGrath and be a part of McGrath and continue to live the McGrath core values. He's also involved in our mentor program. He's a hell of a mentor. You can understand why people would want to learn from him.
First one I'm going to talk about is Carter. He's one of those success stories. He started as a lot guy with us. His manager, who can't be here tonight, Mason, saw a lot of potential in him and decided to bring him on to the sales team. This is his first time at BBB. He's also 20 years old, so that's pretty awesome. Connor Haskell from the Kia department. He's super self-driven with a strong work ethic, and he's just a fun guy to be around and a fun guy to have a conversation. Jason Murley sold 214 cars, hit BBB every single month. Every store has their guy or gal that kind of crushes it. That's their go-to. And Jason has established himself at our store, our campus we call it, as that guy. And he is a professional in every aspect of his job. If you get a chance, go over and ask this guy to do a walk around on a Kia for you. He will literally be writing a check by the time he's done with his walk around.
Zach Steil. He's probably the most dependable person I've ever met in my entire life. Sometimes if he wasn't selling cars, you'd probably forget that he was there because he's super quiet, keeps to himself, but he's a leader for the entire sales team. All right, next up we have Dustin Austin. He's so passionate, his customers love him to death. He's a super fan, he's a super dad, he's a heck of a teammate. All right, next up we have Joe Wilson. I know everybody says this, but he's really one of the hardest working people I've ever been around in any capacity. That's all he does is work. It's hard to even get him to joke around with you for a minute or two. Jacob, he's awesome. He's our resident funny guy. He's the person that's always going to make you laugh. He's also somebody that he's kind of young, and it's really cool to see that he's really dedicated and has a lot of set goals. He's willing to make sacrifices that other people wouldn't do to accomplish those goals. It's really cool to see that he's a dialed-in plan and he knows what he wants to do in life. All right, last but definitely not least, Rick Miller. Rick's sitting right next to me. Rick's the GOAT. He's Tom Brady, he's Michael Jordan, he's the best in the room. He's qualified for BBB every single month for 11 years.
But I want to do a special shout out. Trenda, stand up real quick. Everybody, Trenda, everybody. Trenda printed, broke down, collected the money, and turned in every single car deal on 1,585 cars. We're going to start out with Tyler Young. Tyler Young started here in July of 2011. This is his 9th time, right? BBB member. Tyler sold 151 cars this year. Anthony Hobson started here in May of 2011. He's been to the BBB a whole bunch of times. Just put a question mark because he's a sales manager, sales person. Every year, he's just been here. He shows up. A lot of people don't know Brett. He's not around the dealership a ton. He lives in Ankeny and comes to the store a couple times a week. Brett sold fleet vehicles at a different dealership, and we took a big leap and hired Brett. He brought a big customer base with him. We see the new Jeff tonight. He's got glasses. Yeah, doing it. He's been to Banquet 7 times. He sold 297 units this year. Jeremy Schmitt, 8-time BBB member. Jeremy sold 316 units this year. Last but not least, we got Tyler Janssen. This is Tyler's 9th time at the BBB. Tyler's awesome to have around. Obviously, 316 units. He was leader in the company, leader in our department.
Damon Koppes. Damon drives an hour each way to work to come to the Toyota store. He came down, I think it was in April, joined our team with some people. And has been a big part of the transition. Mollie right there. Mollie doesn't love attention, but Mollie's been with Toyota for 3 years. First time BBB member. What I like about Mollie is you never have to wonder what she's thinking because she's going to tell you. Right? If she disagrees with something, if she's mad at you, she'll always tell you. Tyler Hemphill, actually, I look a little younger than Tyler. I went to college with Tyler, so I've been with him for many years. He's been with McGrath for 4 years. He's a first-time BBB member. Hunter Schmitt. Hunter's the first person to work every day, every morning. Turns the lights on, gets everything going, right? You see him there, he's a true professional. And I truly believe he's going to be a top salesperson in our company for a long time. Shawn Still. Shawn been with McGrath 2.5 years. 2nd time BBB member. I teach Shawn a lot because he literally comes to work and he doesn't know half of his coworkers' names, and that's not a lie. I quiz him on that all the time, and he still hasn't got it figured out. But Josh Hicks, he's been with Toyota for 17 years. He's a first-time BBB member. Josh was a big part of our transition because he fit in with everybody, right? He didn't fight anything back, he had a positive attitude. And I think that's what personally I've taken the most from Josh is he didn't argue the changes that came in, he wasn't upset, right? He came along with. I think he made it easier for all of us. So Mike probably doesn't really talk about these things, but Mike's the #1 Toyota salesperson in the region. That's 75 dealers. Mike sold more than anybody in the region. So Mike, I would say, is a master of relationships and not necessarily word tracks or anything like that, right? Everybody likes him, and I can tell when there's a Mike customer because they're sitting around for hours waiting on him, and they won't work with anybody else.
I also wanted to acknowledge Abe Simon, who's our director of training. And so he's trained and mentored many of the people up here and also helped support Jamie in keeping all the stats and the staff. So thank you for everything that you do. I would like every BBB member to think about somebody on their team. And I just challenge you to wrap your arms around that individual, make a difference in their life, and bring somebody with you next year so that instead of 35 people, we have 70 people sitting up here. You're clearly the biggest, baddest of them. So one last time, I want everybody to give them a big round of applause.